Hey, it's Matt, your Frontier friend. Different video today. It's not going to be a tutorial. I just want to have a quick discussion about Claude Code and Anthropic's pricing. I don't know how new this is. I did just see it happen or scroll by on my Twitter feed, and someone was mentioning that Claude Code is no longer available in the Pro plan. You must jump to the Max plan, which is $100 a month versus the $20 if you're paying monthly. Max is the plan that I'm on. A lot of folks that I know that I follow are on the step up above that. I think it's like the 20 max plan or something like that, $200 a month. I haven't had a need for that yet. I don't need all of those tokens. I'm not doing a ton of coding, though I go through some spurts where I'm doing a lot of coding with Claude Code. And I think where this sort of like warning is, if you could call this a warning, we'll just scroll down on the pricing page of Claude. You'll see Claude Code not available, of course, in free. Neither is Cowork or projects or project sharing. But now in Pro, we're also missing the Claude Code. So that's that $20 a month. And for a while now, if you've been following this stuff closely, a lot of folks have been saying that this is all subsidized. Like what you were getting for $20 was worth thousands. What you're getting out of the $100 and $200 plan could be potentially worth, 10, 20x, even that, which is why we had the whole kerfuffle of like taking your Claude Code authorization out of OpenClaw and these like other agentic competing services, because it was just getting way too much usage for what Anthropic was getting out of the deal. I have this running theory that we're going to see the cost of AI get a lot more expensive, but what you might see is the models of today, the ones that you're like really excited about and having a lot of productivity gains from, maybe those sort of trickle down to the more affordable tiers. But that means that like the gap that you're seeing with success, if you have any, especially within coding, the gap will start to widen. It'll be tighter, but it'll widen. And I think it'll just be like speed and output will just be so good that you'll want to pay eventually thousands and thousands of dollars for these models to get a higher level of output faster and more accurate. Bit of a slot machine, what we're all doing these days. I mean, for many of us who are like exploring this stuff in the frontier. And if you can start to get that slot machine feel out of it, like you're vibing your way to some kind of success as a non-engineer, then yeah, these businesses and companies will eventually pay. And I think that's the model that is pretty obvious. Like when you look at this pricing sheet here, for example, like in this pricing grid of Claude, you'll see security and administration not available on any of these plans, whether you're paying the 20, the 100, or the 200. You're not getting that. And why? It's because at security and administration, if you need single sign-on, you need central billing, you need all of the features that are listed here that you're not getting, they're saying, no, you need to be in an enterprise account. And that enterprise account is where the real money is to be had. So you're going to see you're going to see Anthropic really starting to tighten that price point and those features that are available here in these plans. And I'll give you another example. I'm going to just jump over to, this is my usage for Claude this point in April. I haven't done a lot actually this month with Claude. I've been pretty busy, and I really only use Claude. I keep saying Claude. This is the Anthropic billing account, but Claude Code. I only really use Claude Code for coding stuff and building stuff. I rarely use Claude like regular chat, and I started to use Claude Cowork a little bit, which is pretty much what this usage is. But any of my sort of searching with AI, comparison stuff, writing notes and ideating and stuff like that, I'm actually using ChatGPT for most of that stuff. And I only use the Anthropic model for coding. But the point is, look at my Claude design. My Claude design is at 65% used, and I've only done a handful of examples, which I've put on this channel. And I ran it for, a couple of sessions, not doing anything crazy, making examples to show you all, and just me testing it. And I'm already at 65% of the design stuff. Now, you could say, like, hey, this is brand new. It's in preview mode. They just want people to test it. And I agree with that. But I think what it's also doing is setting the stage for a new product and a new product price point. What they're going to try to do is position this as Well, we have our Claude Code for X amount of dollars. And then if you want Claude Design, it's going to be X amount of dollars. And sure, you can get a plan like the Max plan. It'll sort of just like bundle it all together. But effectively what we're doing is, we've been talking about replacing humans with AI for so long. What we're effectively doing is getting right back to the way human business operates. You'll be paying for, look at that, I just switched to night mode. You pay for a back-end developer to develop code for you and do stuff with SQL. And you're going to pay for a front-end designer who's going to make your front end, your logos, and your graphics. And Anthropic is going to say, we have both that are really good agentically, running 24/7. They don't need health insurance. They don't need time off. But in a world 5 years from now, the best models might cost $5,000 a month, $6,000 a month. And the enterprise and the big business will have to decide, do I want to pay $6,000 or $5,000 or $4,000 to Anthropic for these models? Or do I want to hire somebody for 2 times the cost or 1.5x times the cost and pay healthcare and time off? It's a crazy world. But what I'm getting at is I think these costs are going to go up. Now, there's the open source side of things. A lot of the models coming out of China are allegedly doing great. I haven't really tested them outside of OpenRouter just to play around with things. But, I'd love to see more open source. Do you trust all of the models coming out of China? I don't know. You'll have to figure that out on your own. Hopefully the weights that are being analyzed and these systems are being analyzed so it's not scooping up your privacy. But enterprise and big business, in finance and health and medical and security are not going to use those models, not for anything in high production. And for the rest of us, we might rely on those models because we're not going to pay the costs of this stuff. So just really interesting to see this stuff starting to unfold and the pricing. I think Anthropic's the one that we have to watch in terms of pricing and, of course, the value. Are you getting the value out of this stuff? I was really deep with Claude Opus 4.6. Did a really good job helping me develop software and other bits of code. I haven't really gone too deep with 4.7, but interested to see how that plays out, interested to see how this pricing plays out, interested to see what they do with Claude Design. And I'm just noticing this resets Friday at 2 p.m. I'm recording this on a Tuesday, late at night on a Tuesday. Well, not late at night, but 8:30 at night. So that resets at Tuesday. Typically, you're resetting your Claude Code sessions in a couple of hours or 3 or 4 hours to reset that if you're doing it at peak. So really interested to see what they do with this stuff. All right, that's it. That's enough rambling. Love your thoughts in the comments below. Claude Code, not in the Pro plan anymore, only in the Max plan and above. Let me know what you think. Subscribe to the channel if you want more, because we only got like 3 subscribers so far. All right, we'll see you in the next video.